It looks like the 2024-2025 football season, or European football season for that matter, is providing us with shock after shock after shock. And at this rate, it's going to continue to be the gift that keeps on giving. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is James Bremisa, and on the 17th of May 2025, we saw the English domestic cup season come to a conclusion with Crystal Palace taking on much fancied Manchester City at Wembley. And Crystal Palace were dominated, as expected, by Pep Guardiola's Sky Blues, who everybody thought would just have a simple walkover. But some brilliant hold-up play from Jean-Philippe Mateta, excellent full-back play or wing-back play, if you will, from Muniz, coupled with a fantastic assist for Eberechi Eze, ensured that the Eagles of Crystal Palace won their first ever trophy, and as a result, crowned FA Cup winners and will be playing the Europa League next season. Now, whilst the result in itself is a shock, with domestic trophy and as a result ensuring that Manchester City finished trophyless. City, by the way, losing back-to-back FA Cup finals since they lost last year's one to Manchester United, have now gotten 2 games to try and save their season and ensure that they qualify for next season's UEFA Champions League, or at least play in Europe. But focusing more on the victors, Crystal Palace, and the fact that I mentioned that this is one of the many surprises we've had in the European footballing season, with Newcastle beating Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final earlier this year, with Bologna beating AC Milan just this week in the Coppa Italia final. Real Betis have a chance of winning the UEFA Europa Conference League final against the match fancy Chelsea. And we have two teams who have been extremely underwhelming, Manchester United and Spurs, taking on each other in the Europa League final. With the trend that has been playing out this season, you would expect that Spurs just might leave Bilbao with the trophy and thereby also qualify for the UEFA Champions League. But it remains to be seen which of those two would end up winning the trophy. Will Betis win their final against Chelsea? Now, again, sticking with Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, if you observe, probably play a similar style to Manchester United, but theirs seems to be working better. And one might ask, why is it the case? Why is the less fancy side seemingly getting better results from their formation tweak as compared to a club with much larger resources, Manchester United? Well, for me, I think the answer is in the detail. And by detail, I mean the build-up to the FA Cup winning goal that we saw from Crystal Palace. It starts with a ball to Mateta, who does his best to hold off the Man City backline and find a teammate. And I think right there is the key, because Mateta did what you expect a traditional number 9 to do. Hold the ball up for your teammates to get involved in the play. Now compare that to Manchester United's number 9, Rasmus Højlund. And you can see clearly that the striker for the Red Devils is deficient when it comes to hold-up play. At least as compared to Mateta. So for Man United to continue playing the way they are playing and expect different results, it means chances are they either have to get Højlund to bulk up a bit, train him to hold the ball better and link up play, or simply put, just replace him with another striker. Most likely the latter. Another factor, again, back to the winning goal from Palace, another factor as to why they seem to be getting better results out of their formations compared to Manchester United is they have better players who are equipped for the style of play that they want to exhibit. Nunes is a marauding wing back, and for me, he was the man of the match. Yes, Henderson may have saved the penalty. Granted, Henderson shouldn't have been on the pitch to have had to save the penalty, but again, you make the most out of what you want or what you have to get what you want. And Nunes is a prime example of linking up with the attack as a defender and producing efficient results. Add to the fact that Eberechi Eze is given the freedom to do his thing as a number 10 or one of the number 10s, and he has Adam Watson behind him to find the room for them to run into. They've gotten Sarr with the energy. They've gotten the experience of Will Hughes off the bench when necessary. And then they have a trusted backline. They've got Munoz, as I mentioned earlier. They've got the other wing back, Mitchell. They've got a centre back pairing they can rely on, led by their captain, McGahey. And it's a bit shocking that people still underrate Crystal Palace, because Glasner has been brilliant ever since he came to the helm of the club. He's been exceptional. And when you go back and play how they play back the press conference after they lost the league game to City when they were leading 2-0 and ended up losing by, I think, a scoreline of 5-2 or something, Glasner said Pep wouldn't win the next one because now they've studied how they play. And the results back his statement up. They did study how City played. They stifled Haaland, stifled De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Jeremy Doku, Phil Foden. You name it, they kept them quiet. And congratulations, Crystal Palace, on this wonderful achievement. I personally am waiting to see what they do in the Europa League, being their first ever venture into Europe. Do they play with the freedom that we expect? Obviously, it's going to come with a huge cash windfall for them. So, will they reimburse it in the squad properly or in the facilities? Or just keep it for a rainy day? You never know. Because, again, they weren't expected to qualify for Europe. So, since they have qualified, it's an exciting time for their fans. And it is a time for Manchester City to also ponder what might have been, again, trophyless season, a rarity ever since the cash came in, ever since Pep Guardiola came to the fore. But it shows that in football, you never rest on your laurels. This is a team who just 2 seasons ago won the treble, and now they are trophyless. The chasing pack is hungry, and if you are not playing at your best, you will be left by the wayside. So how do Manchester City bounce back from this? It remains to be seen how they invest in their squad during the summer transfer window. Naturally, our competitors would wise up and also try and do so. So it makes next season even more exciting. What do you think will happen? Where do you think Crystal Palace would get to in the Europa League? Where do you think City will finish this season? Would they actually qualify for the Champions League, or would they be left slacking? Let me know in the comment section. Once again, this is James Brew, of the Brew Show. You can follow the Brew Show on your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube. And you can follow James on the same platforms with the inclusion of TikTok. Continue to enjoy your weekend. Let's enjoy the European finals we have waiting for us with the Europa League final, Manchester United and Spurs starting it. Then we have the Europa Conference League final between Chelsea and Real Betis. And then the big one, the UEFA Champions League final between Paris Saint-Germain and Inter Milan. Catch you same time next time. Bye for now.